Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our technical English class for grade 11. This is our second lesson in Review Unit C, Part 2, in which we revise and practice material from Units 5 and 6. In this lesson, we're going to cover exercises on pages 49 and 50. Let's look at the objectives. We have two objectives. Number one, supply questions for 10 answers in an interview. And number two, make 8 definitions by matching words with their type nouns and their functions. We are going to start the lesson with a matching activity to revise the vocabulary. Match the words with their meanings. We have system, device, material, and tool. The words are all type nouns, that is, they represent categories. Now, pause the video and read through the meanings, then match the words with their meanings. Okay, let's check the answers. System. A group of related parts that work together as a whole for a particular purpose, e.g., an alarm system. Device. A device is a thing made or adapted for a particular purpose, especially of mechanical or electronic equipment. Material. A material is a solid substance such as wood, plastic, or metal. And the last word on this slide is tool, which is, of course, something that you hold in your hand and use to do a particular job. Moving on, we have 4 more words to match. Pause the video and read through the words and the meanings and match them. Now let's check the answers. We have technician. A technician is someone whose job is to check equipment or machines and make sure that they are working properly. For example, a laboratory technician. Vehicle. A vehicle is a machine with an engine that is used to take people or things from place to place, especially on land. For example, cars, bicycles, lorries, and buses. Our next word is instrument. An instrument is a small tool used in work, such as science or medicine. For example, surgical instruments. And the last word is procedure. Of course, procedure is a way of doing something, especially a correct way or the usual way. Moving on, read the questions and answers. So we are going to read 3 questions and their answers. The first one, so tell me about your invention. What is it for? And the answer is, it is for finding lost items. I want you to notice the word order of the question and that of the answer. Next question. What is it called? It is called locator. Notice the word order of both the question and the answer. And the last question here we have, how big is it? And the answer is, it is quite small. Notice the word order. You can see that the subject and the verb change their position in statements and the question. Here, we start with the verb, then the question, but in the statement, that is the answer, we start with the subject, then the verb. And the question starts with a question word. Good. Now open your course books to page 49. Task 4. Supply the questions in this interview about the man overboard alarm system on page 41. Now, pause the video, read through the answers, and then supply the questions. Now, let's check the answers. Great. Moving on, our next task is on page 50 of the course book. Turn to page 50 of the course book. Task 7. Make definitions. We have words here, the type nouns here, and the functions here. Our task is to make definitions by matching words with type nouns and functions. Now, the question is, how do we make definitions? Let's try to make a definition. Let's say we want to make a definition for a thermometer. We can say that a thermometer is an instrument which measures temperature. From this definition, we can see that thermometer is the word, which is like this part. Then we have a verb to be, which can either be is or are, depending on the word. If it's singular, we use is. If it's plural, we use are. And then we have an instrument, which is the type noun. That is the category the thing belongs to. So, which is this part. And finally, we have the defining relative clause, which is divided into two: the relative pronoun and the function, which is this one. Great. Now let's go back to the task. Remember, to make definition, we need the word, verb to be, the type noun, and then the defining relative clause, which is divided into the pronoun and the function. And for the pronoun, we have which, who, and that. Which is for things, who for people, and that can replace which or who. Let's do number one together. Number one, our word is an MP3 player. What is it? Is it an instrument? Is it a system? It is a device. And what is the function? Download and play music from a computer. So we have an MP3 is a device which downloads and plays music from a computer. Our verb to be is here is because our word is singular. And the relative pronoun, which is because an MP3 is a thing. And make sure to use the correct forms of the verbs. We have downloads and plays here because our word is singular. Very good. Now pause the video and complete the task. Let's check the answers. Great. This is the end of today's lesson. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.